Good. Call the meeting to order at 7 p.m. If you all would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Item 3, public comment. Would there be public comment this evening? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Roy Simmons, 175 Heritage Road. I understand that we got our audit back finally from the company.
Yes, sir.
That's great. Have we decided who we were going to use next year yet?
Well, we talked to the Board of Finance last week, and unfortunately our hands are kind of held a little bit, Roy, because of the time element involved. If we were to go out, it's very difficult for us to go out to bid at this point. But I did make some phone calls, and I talked with our present treasurer, our interim treasurer, Cheryl. She works with a couple of other towns. And she's relayed to me that in the past they really haven't had a problem with them. I also talked with our retired treasurer, and again she reiterated to me that in the past we hadn't had a problem with them. Due to the shortness of time element and the conversation we had with the Board of Finance last week, they decided to stay with the current audit firm for the next audit year. But Doug and I, Tony, and I think there was a fourth person involved, are going to have a meeting with them. We're going to invoke some penalties involved in the event that the audit doesn't come back on a timely basis. And we will be in a position, Roy, next year to be able to go out to bid on that audit. And unfortunately, we're to a point where we were just kind of strapped with time. So we're pretty confident that we can take care of this situation in the future. You're welcome. Will there be further comment? Yes, sir.
Don Steinberg, 423 Providence Pike. Peter, on that note, the audit, in the beginning of the audit, there are recommendations that are made. And these are the same recommendations that have been made in the last couple of audits. Could there be any clarification on what those recommendations are? And will they be addressed with the new system? Or?
Hopefully. Doug has spent a lot more time with the audit than I have at this particular point, so maybe he could give you a better answer that way.
Well, until they make a formal presentation to the Board of Finance, we really don't know what the presentation is yet. So. And it's the responsibility of the Board of Finance to actually follow up on any recommendations in the audit. So.
Thank you. So I think that measures up to, hopefully the Board of Finance will take responsibility for those recommendations and make sure that they're put in place. So we'll follow up with them, and I'm sure you'll give a little reminder. Thank you, Don. Would there be further public comment? Thank you all. Item number 4 is approval of minutes. You have in your packet the minutes from March the 18th, 2013, Board of Selectmen's meeting minutes. What would be your pleasure?
A motion to approve is presented.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
I have on public comment, first page, under Don Steinberg, it says T.A. Cutler. I don't know who that is.
Town administrator.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
All these acronyms sometimes, people start talking and I say to myself, what are they doing sometimes? So, understood. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, so carried. Item number 5 is petitions and communications. We have a letter dated March the 15th, 2013 from Wheelabrator regarding Phase 5 baseline of construction certification report. Report is in its entirety and is available in the Mayor's office for review during normal business hours. Item B is a CD dated March 2013 from Brown and Caldwell on behalf of Wheelabrator regarding the 2012 annual monitoring report. The report in its entirety is available in the Mayor's office for review during normal business hours. And item C is a CD dated March 13, 2013 from Brown and Caldwell on behalf of Wheelabrator regarding the 2013 first quarter monitoring report. And again, the report is, in its entirety, is available in the mayor's office for review during normal business hours. Item 6 is reports of standing committees. Alma?
General Government Committee, the codification and the MS4 draft ordinance are the only things that remain. And being that there's budgets going on right now, after talking to Doug Cutler, Town Administrator, TA, Doug Cutler, we've decided to put that off till next month so that way we can get through the budget.
Very good. Thank you, Alma. Questions of Alma? Thank you. Item number 7 is reports of special committees. Wheelabrator Contract Review Committee update. We have a meeting tomorrow afternoon. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of
The other
I'm
Wheelabrator issue.
thinking of the other Wheelabrator issue. Sorry.
I have heard from Don Musial, the Wheelabrator Putnam Inc. Rep here, and apparently they do not have to go through an extensive corporate review of the draft as was originally thought. Apparently there's only one person that has to make the decision, but there's still a process they have to follow in terms of internally, the budget office and other offices legal have to review it, and then it goes to change to this one person who makes who will then be able to make the call, as opposed to the full board of directors for Wheelabrator having act on it.
Very good.
Which, if that's a quick decision in
It's a fast
corporate.
one. Yeah. Very good. Thank you, Doug. Item number 8 is Economic and Community Development Report. It's not a reporting month. Item number 5 is Building Officials CEO Report. Once again, it's not a reporting month. Doug, item number 10 is Town Administrator's Report.
Just briefly from my report, Drug-Free Communities Grant, we filed for the maximum grant of $125,000. We had over almost $150,000 in match towards that $125,000. So we more than made up for the match requirement. And if we receive a positive decision, we should hear from the end of August or early September. And that will be the fiscal year starting October 1st, 2013. And the main two purposes of the grant will be to reduce underage drinking and prescription drug abuse by youth. And for your information, Pride Coalition is sponsoring the Putnam Police Department, the Elks, and Department of Drug Enforcement Agency our biannual Drug Kickback Day, Saturday, September 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., which is also the same day as beautification.
Yep.
And the YMCA is holding what? Youth Day?
Yes. It's a program that I believe they're holding at the same spot, the middle school, and very good.
And one of the things we want to do before that is I'm in the process of obtaining a drug lock box, which will be installed at the police department. Hopefully we'll have that in place by the 27th. And then it will be permanently there, so people can bring them in on as they want to get rid of them, they'll have a place to take them. For meetings attended, I attended the joint meeting of the Facility Study Committee and Library Building Committee. It was decided that the Library Building Committee will continue on their track to determine the best location for the library, but they are going to wait to meet again until after the referendum on the high school building project. Maybe some things will sort of settle out after that decision is made, and then they can move on in earnest with the decisions about the town hall and the armory and the library. I did attend 2 meetings of Board of Finance where we presented the budget and discussed procedures to follow for the high school building project. And I also attended the Planning Commission to receive the recommendation under municipal improvements section of the Connecticut State Statute regarding the high school project, and both gave their favorable recommendations to bring those to go forward with the town meeting and the referendum. On the Quinnebog Regional Technology Park and Bridge, along with Mayor Pace, we attended a meeting with Senator Don Williams and State Representative Dan Rivero, where we had an opportunity to discuss with the Conduct Commissioner the schedule for going out to bid on the Technology Park Bridge. And one of the other decisions that has to be made in conjunction with that is breaking the non-access line off of Interstate 395, that where the access would be to the tech park is within the non-access line, so we have to
Initially, we thought that it would not be as a problem with going forward with that, but as we move forward, anything with this project, it's a little bit more complicated. That should be able to be resolved. And since the project is now all for public comment based on the environmental impact evaluation, and the comments, the end of the comment period is April 22nd. We're hoping that a draft favorable record of decision will be issued, and that will go to the OPM, and hopefully by the end of May, early June, that decision will come back from OPM with endorsing the favorable record of decision for both the Regional Technology Park, the bridge, and the YMCA. High school project reimbursement rate, I facilitated, and along with, again, with Mayor Place, just before the meeting we had on the Quinn Park Regional Technology Bridge. We had a meeting with Senator Williams and Representative Rivero, and this meeting was Superintendent Bill Hall, and we wanted to find out if they could be helpful to us in terms of requesting from the State Department of Education a reimbursement rate to cover the portion of the high school construction project for the medical pathways and the PAL section of the project. Right now, that there is no reimbursement built into that section, and I forget how much that was. Is that $2 million? About $2 million. So there's a feeling that we will get a reimbursement rate. It's just how much we will get. So hopefully we'll get a decision before the town meeting. But anything that we get in terms of reimbursement of that will certainly reduce the cost of the overall cost of the project. So it seems like this is a short report, but it seems like I was awfully busy doing certain things.
Yeah.
Putting my handle on, I just...
Well, it's good. And Doug, maybe you talk, we go into Hartford, and we expect to meet with just a couple of people, and, they started bringing chairs in. And before we knew it, we probably had a good 20 people in Don's little office, Senate office, and
we thought it was just going to be meeting with the commissioner, and there was,
they brought everybody in, and
2 other state agencies, the governor's office,
which is good. It lets us know that everybody's working on the project for us. Yeah, it was incredible. Somebody from the governor's office. It was incredible. God, what we
But there's a difference between being a state senator and also the president pro tem and being a state representative, where the state senator had 4 aides at the table, and Danny had nobody.
But it's nice to know though that when I do give them a call, they really are they're helping us. So, questions of Doug?
Doug, on the drug-free community grant,
Yes.
where do those matching funds come from?
It comes from some of my salary, some of the salary, not salary, but we do allocate the time spent of the coalition. We have 12 sectors that make up the coalition, so you can include their time, so their attendance at meetings is included. Since we have to administer the grant because it comes through the town of Putnam, the time of the treasurer is also involved in that. We have a very nice partnership with Community Health Resources, which is similar to NACASA in terms of what they do, and they basically come out of the Romantic area, and the bulk of the grant, the match comes from there at the time. We have 2 staff people that are assigned to us. They're not mentors per se, they really do a lot of the day in and day out stuff because we don't have any staff assigned to the coalition. So, for instance, I got a lengthy email from one of the staff people today talking about the various things that we're doing in terms of promoting how you get the message out about underage drinking and those type of things.
So the time's like donated?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's cool. All right. And on the Quinn Park Regional Bridge, you said something about a deadline for...
April 22nd is the deadline for the comments on the environmental impact evaluation.
Well,
From anybody. From the state departments, from the public, from
Any other entity that may
any
be
entity
involved?
that has interest in it.
on the that's just on the non-access part?
No, that's on the whole full environmental impact evaluation. That's there's a big document that's found in Sarah's office. We have a copy in the planner's office, and there's a copy of and I should get the email, the website address for you, if you want to go on and take a look at it there.
Okay.
Denise, you could remind me tomorrow.
Thank you.
You're
Further
welcome.
questions of Doug? Doug, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Item 11 is unfinished business. I know you touched on it already, Quinnipiac Regional Technology Park and Bridge. Anything further, Doug?
Nope.
Item B is fiscal year 2013-14 proposed budget, discussion and possible action. Tomorrow evening, we have a special meeting here at 5:30 p.m.
The Board of Finance.
Well, I'm sorry. I have a special meeting with the Board of Finance tomorrow evening at 5:30. Again, to review the budget with the Board of Finance and recommendations. We've made some adjustments to the budget at this point to make it a little bit more palatable to the people of Putnam, and we'll work with the Board of Finance tomorrow evening.
I got a question I'd like to ask about that. Our insurance rates went up, right?
Yes. Which one?
I-
All of them went up.
They all did. I know,
Yeah.
special service, all of them got hit with an increase.
Right.
And I think Rick has told me this was like 16%.
15%.
15. Whatever happened to that 1.4 million?
It's still there. We allocated some of it in our, on the revenue side, to at least take care of on the general government side for that purpose.
What's it in there for? I mean, isn't that in there to offset? the
It's
cost?
offset, right,
So why are we taking it as revenue?
because it's offsetting the increase in our rates.
Oh, they don't just apply it to the rates?
No,
right through
no,
the-
no, no. It has to come through our budget.
And that's Lockton Group?
Lockton is our health benefits consultant here with the Eastern Connecticut Health Insurance, whatever they call it. Initiative, which we still are with Cigna with that.
And Doug Hebert, is he the broker?
Dan Hebert.
Dan Hebert, Dan. Any chance we can ever talk to him about that?
Sure.
So we just got,
I'll
I don't
bring him in
understand
next-
how that money works.
I'll
because I know
bring
there's
him in
people on that.
next meeting, if that's good.
That'd be great. We could ask him a couple questions.
Sure.
And see about what that, how that fund works. And how much of that did we take to offset that?
We had to take $400,000 to offset last year's increase.
Last year's.
At the end of the fiscal year, last year, we had a imbalance of, actually it was more than that, but we were able to, thanks to Dan's help, we were able to negotiate that down to where it was only $400,000. And they didn't carry forward any of that, any of our claim history into this year. If that had occurred, then we would have been seeing more. We're just having unfortunately, these things run in cycles. Usually there's good cycles where we were able to build up our premium reserve, but right now we're in that downward cycle, and we've had some horrendous claim experience.
Has it helped us being in that consortium or whatever?
Excuse me?
Has it helped us? being
It
in
has
that?
helped us being in there.
What are we down to now in that fund?
900,000.
With the 400 taken out? Well, that was when it was 1.4.
1.4, right.
Now it's down to 9.
Yeah.
So we have 20 of
We
it?
have touched any. We've put, some of the money we put in because we got, because of the Affordable Care Act, I think we got about, what was that thing called, rebate or whatever it was. And we got 60,000, we put that in there too. And then we also paid out a little bit under that because there's, the employees share, they share in the premium, so we were able to give them, it wasn't much, but, just help offset their premiums for 1 week if they, so.
Does the Special Service District and the Board of Ed and the town, is there certain shares of that money? Is that how it works, or is it?
Yes, there is. That's correct.
Or
Yeah.
we each get our certain amount?
The
by-
bulk of it is the Board of Education. The next
Okay.
highest bulk, of course, is the town, and then the Special Service District.
Okay. We'll be at the next one, this.
Right. 19th,
Next one.
15th. Yeah.
Don't forget, it's also at the
Oh, the
middle
high school.
Older school. Thank you, Doug.
Yep.
Any further questions of Doug?
Do you want to talk about the financing on the budget?
Yeah, we can give a little preview of what we're thinking as we have the Wheelabrator money that we put aside. I've had a conversation with Doug and thinking of different things that we could do to stabilize our budget. And what happens is, particularly this year, we're hit with a lot of capital items. The bridges, for example, as you know, as you went through the budget, were a substantial hit to the town. Doug and I worked with the Board of Finance last week, and we come up with a proposal to allow us to use some of that some of the funds that we have with Wheelabrator right now to stabilize our budget over the next few years. And Doug, I don't know if you have facts and figures, I didn't bring them with me
Right.
tonight, but if you want to review those facts. and
As you
figures.
recall from your 5-year capital plan, the total of the, in this current, the fiscal year starting July 1, we had projected a total of almost $1.4 million on various projects. The bulk of that was $300,000 for the road construction, $161,000 for the Recreation Park Road Bridge, and when we added in the Board of Education, which was 2 school buses, and the parking lot repair, which was $367,000. What I presented to the Board of Finance is, at the request of the Chairman of the Board of Finance, is that were there ways that we could look at bonding these projects over the longer term, because these are actually going to benefit the citizens out further than just the immediate 3 years, for instance, on the bridge projects that we'd be paying out. Those bridge projects are going to be good once we get them done for next 15 to 20 years. So instead of having the taxpayers now pick up that entire cost, spread that out over the course of the useful life of the bridges. And the same goes for the parking lot and the road reconstruction. So we have $4 million in the ash landfill account. We've used it before on the school roof project, and we paid ourselves back over 3 years. At that time, the rate was 1%, which is basically what they call the short-term investment fund is through the state of Connecticut. So we're actually paying ourselves back, and that fund's not depleted because we're paying interest on it. So that's the same idea that we used in terms of going forward, and the things that I presented to the Board of Finance was the road reconstruction. I left the vehicles out, so it was the road reconstruction, the Recreation Park Road Bridge the first year, and the $367,000 for the parking lot repair. That came out to $982,000. So if we took that $982,000 and we sort of bonded it or used the ash landfill, I had Cheryl do an amortization schedule going out 10 years. And it basically comes down to, even with interest, it comes down to about $98,000. So instead of having to come up with $982,000, we're going to be only paying $98,000 and we get these projects done. And again, we're only going to finance whatever the cost is. So if that parking lot comes in a lot lower than that, we're going to do that. And the only other stipulation I wanted the Board of Finance to be aware of is that under the current agreement we have with Wheelabrator on the ground lease, it's expected that we have a 15-year available life of the current footprint of the landfill. Again, Owen and Scott are involved with negotiating with them where they want to do an expansion onto the neighboring Barnes property. But currently, because that's the only thing we have in place, it's a 15-year cycle. I just wanted to make the Board of Finance aware is that we have to make sure that fund is whole by the time that 15-year period is ended. So that, we're not, if we have to close that thing and there's post-closure fees that we have to pay out, not that we're anticipating it, but if there are, then we want to make sure that fund's available for that purpose.
It's fully paid back.
It's fully paid back.
We pay to close that landfill?
No, but we had to, because it's part of our landfill, because it's our land, we sort of had to set aside some funds to be able to do that, so.
Even though they're covering the
Even though they're going to cover the cost.
the cost.
But if, let's say, for whatever reason, there's the worst case scenario which could ever be contemplated, and Wheelabrator, for whatever reason, goes totally belly up or whatever, there's some funds there that would be available.
We have the opportunity to use the funds that we have, as we have in the past, and stabilize our tax situation this year, and it would be a very minor increase, if any.
Yeah.
So it does work. And actually, the proposal of the Board of Finance last week went very well. They were all very receptive to the thought of doing that. So
The thing with the projects that were listed in the 5-year plan is it comes out to about $3 million total. Those are without the vehicles. So the most that you would be paying if you take this logically along through the 5 years and the 10 years, the most that you're going to be paying outright if you bond the full $3 million is $300,000. And that's what you basically do on a road project every year. What you're paying is $300,000 every year for road projects. So if you take that $300,000 and say, okay, that's what we normally have been doing, then that's what your capital cost would be, and that's for any number of projects that you can include in the mix.
And of course, if we had gone out and tried to bond the projects, it would have cost us a whole lot more money. All the fees and documents and all the hoops you have to jump through
Yeah.
for bonding, and so.
And we plan to carry it over, from year to year, so, we'll carry over into the second year and so forth. And again, as the mayor says, if you had to pay a financial advisor and the bond counsel to do that, to get
You're
public
talking
paper,
substantial amount of
you're
money.
talking, $10,000, $15,000 every time you do that.
Is there any way that 250,000 that comes from the rent of the landfill, is there any way that could be put right into capital? It's not tipping fees.
No,
rent.
it's not,
It's not really.
It's always
not,
that
it's-
is it.
Read the audit.
It's sort of like, it's a
Read the audit.
host
It
community
says
benefit.
rent.
I know.
It's rent. If they don't drop one trailer load in that place in a year's time, they still owe us $250,000. It's rent. And it'd be nice if we could put that right into the capital long term.
You're going to pay for it one way or the other.
Yeah.
Do it the other
You
way.
take it out of one hand, you're going to put it in another. I mean, to me, it doesn't
So
make
do we have any left from what we got from
1
the
year.
red? No,
Oh,
to add to that fund this year?
yes,
No.
about 300,000.
Okay. So it's still.
Oh, I don't know for this year, Owen.
Yeah.
I haven't got the reconciliation, so we reconcile every calendar year with Wheelabrator.
Right.
And we had predicted it would be $2.5 million, which is what we expected from the budget, so I know we're still getting the 2.5, but whether there's any extra, I don't know yet, because I haven't got to see the reconciliation. And we're supposed to have that by now, it's, I think, 120 days at the end of the calendar year, so.
Very good.
And this way, we won't be able to have to use very much of our fund balance. Even though the fund balance did increase, if you were at, I can't remember who was at the Board of Finance, but now the financial advisor is advising us that we should keep 10% available in our fund balance, which is more than the 8.33% that we currently hold. So. And we have a little bit more than that, 10% now in our fund balance.
We have about 1.4 months, is that what it?
1.4 months.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Doug, again.
You're welcome.
Yeah. New business, Northeast Cultural Alliance status, Doug?
Delpha couldn't make it tonight, so what's your pleasure?
I move that we table it to the next meeting that Delpha's able to attend.
Second.
And motion and a second to table till our next meeting. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I asked for some information, did any of it get put out?
Nobody came back.
Huh?
None of it came back. Oh,
I asked about the account.
oh,
How much
I
is
haven't
it?
gotten it back yet because I've been tied up with other things and Delpha hasn't gotten it back to me yet. So.
Okay.
Once we get our treasurer in, it's going to be a lot better in terms of
When's
checking.
treasurer?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not soon enough.
Under new business, item B is East Putnam Fire District collection of district taxes.
You have in your packet a contract, proposed contract between the town of Putnam and the East Putnam Fire District. The treasurer has entered into discussions with the East Putnam Fire District, and they are amenable to the town collecting the taxes on their behalf. Apparently, the treasurer is retiring, and so this is modeled after the contract we have in place with West Putnam. And if you notice, I sort of have some hand scratch on the thing. This has been reviewed. This was presented by Bill St. Ange and it's been reviewed by the revenue collector. And so she went through it and made some changes that would be applicable to if we entered into this contract with the East Putnam Fire District. So basically what it would be is the cost would be tallied on the basis of taking the total number of real estate, personal property, motor vehicles, and supplemental motor vehicles for the town special service district, the West Putnam district, and the East Putnam district. And then you take the total operating expenses of the revenue department shall be determined by the total operating expenses of the department shall be divided by the total number of bills to be issued to determine the cost per bill, which is what the East Putnam would pay. There's something else that she had included in that besides just collecting bills. Anyway. And the other way this is structured is that there's a schedule of miscellaneous matters, And if you agree in concept that the town should enter into agreement with the East Putnam Fire District for the mailing and collection of taxes, then you would also authorize the revenue collector, myself, and the treasurer to do further negotiations with East Putnam to come up with, to make sure that we, because there are different things between how West Putnam collects their tax, how East Putnam collects their tax, how Special Service collects their tax. Some do it 2 times a year, some do it only once, which is East Putnam's. So if that's your pleasure, and the thing is, if we're going to forward with this before July 1, we have to have basically a decision.
Further discussion with Doug? Would I have a motion to that effect? So moved. A motion by John? Second. Yep. Thank you, Dick. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, so carried. Item C, declaration of April is Fair Housing Month, Putnam.
This, I'm guessing, is the same as last year and
It
previous
is.
years?
If you'd like me to quickly go through it with you, I'd be happy to do that. It's something that it's mandatory that we do. It's mandated whenever we're applying for expending community block development block grant funds. And the resolution is in your packet, the proclamation is in your packet. And essentially what you'd be doing is you'd be authorizing the mayor to sign that resolution.
I move that we authorize the mayor to declare April Fair Housing Month.
Motion and second, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, so carried. Also in your packet, item D is consideration for approval, fair housing resolution, vote required.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, so carried. Item E is consideration and approval of equal opportunity policy, and again, a vote is required.
I'll move again.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, so carried. Item F is approval of bills.
Make a motion to pay all approved bills.
Second. Have a motion and a second, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, so carried. Item G is all other business lawfully come before such meeting. Item 13 is public comment. Item 14 is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion, do I have a second? Motion and second. Discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes opposed, so carried.
I suppose.
Under 35 minutes.
What's your schedule?